Hey, everybody. All my black shirts were at the dry cleaners, so I had to grab another sweater today. But here we are. This, after yesterday's video of Bitcoin price predictions, hundreds of people literally asked me, can you do the same for Solana? So here we are. We're going to do it. And Patreon wanted it too. A resounding 98% of Patreon wanted it as well. So let's get into it. We're going to break down a ton of stuff as usual. This is the most comprehensive, detailed analysis you'd ever see for price predictions for 2025 for Solana. We'll look at DeFi dominance. We'll look at SOL versus ETH. We'll talk about some great things that are incoming. Literally, even things like the strategic reserve for Bitcoin, strategic Bitcoin reserve. God, that SBR trips me up. That will even be a huge tailwind for Solana as well, because we'll talk about the CMC and the price predictions based on that as well. We'll talk about AI Agent Mindshare, how Solana has grabbed all things AI, which is the big narrative for 2025. Since 2022, AI was the narrative, but now AI and crypto have collided. And Binance is even joining the fray as well. We'll look at a whole bunch of price predictions, analysis of price expert analysis as well, and we'll see exactly how high we could go in 2025. And in fact, as I'm speaking right now, Bitcoin 97,400, big day, up $2,930. Not bad. Solana is above 200 at $208. So we are making it. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the mods in chat, K8, Sean Donnelly, T&D Tesla, and the whole gang here, and Adam Q. The Australians love Solana. No idea why. No idea. Maybe they like moons as well. So, and this is not financial advice, just a guy on the internet. And, you know, making price predictions is hard. But I do it using TA. So we'll get to that in a minute too. And shout out to everybody on Patreon that make this possible every single day. This is from eman8653. Been watching you from the very, very start and joined Patreon. Best money I ever spent and getting close to be able to retire. Woohoo! Massive thanks for all you do. It's been life-changing for me and thousands of others. Thank you for the very kind note. I do want to stress one thing, though. It's very easy to be able to retire and then lose it. So please, everybody, remember, bank. If you get to a comfortable level, bank some. Lock it away. Put it in safe stuff. We tend to invest in very risky stuff, so remember that. And thank you, Eman, for the great note. Now, let's get into the Solana story. Solana has had insane DeFi growth in 2024. Blew my wildest expectations. TVL surged from 1.4 billion, I think, in January to nearly 10 billion by December. That's nearly 600% increase. And it is just crazy. The amount of adoption across all areas. Stablecoins, NFT trading, DEXs, perp trading, everything is out of control, like we've never seen before. Real world assets, tokenization and stuff, bonkers. In addition, just to show you how powerful this is, 3 DeFi names made more than ETH. 3. Raydium, Jito, and Solana all smoked Ethereum on a standalone basis in terms of income generation, which is absolutely crazy to even imagine. I did not see this coming. Also, when we look at Raydium as well, smoked Uniswap. Uniswap is an 800-pound gorilla that's been in the DEX business since day one. And now Raydium is the #1 DEX by trading volume across all blockchains for 2 consecutive months. And Uniswap in November, Raydium handled about 30% more than Uniswap. I think Uniswap was about 90 billion. Raydium 125 billion in volume. So it's crazy. Dude Travels, thank you. And Angle Blackson, good to see you, buddy. Again, all across the board. I always talk about black holes and how the winner takes most, because that's what I've seen and for the last 35 years of analyzing markets. And the exact same thing is going to happen in crypto, and that's exactly what happened. And here we are. In other crazy smoking news, not that I'm a smoker, never was, never will be. In 2024, Solana smoked Ethereum and all layer 2s combined. Bonkers. We're talking Base, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Polygon, all the other layer 2s that I don't spend any time looking at. Anyway, you can only be all in on one thing, and that's kind of what I do. Also, good news, everybody. In fact, rumor has it this is now 85% chance. And this morning, an hour or two ago, it was 84% chance. This is the Solana ETF being approved in 2025. Yes, it's coming, and it's highly likely. can we say a big bye-bye to Gary Gensler? Yeah. Bye-bye. The world will be a better place without corruption in the SEC. Hopefully they can dust off their smeared reputation and become a better shop. Next, we have Solana hitting 5 billion in stablecoin TVL. And most of this consists of USDC. We'll share a chart on that later. But again, very, very impressive. Tether is the most popular stablecoin, but the second most popular stablecoin on the crypto platform. Solana is very much into USDC, which is run by Circle. And this is a very strong indicator of the growing confidence of users and investors in the network. And many believe, including myself, stablecoin volume and TVL could quadruple easily in 2025. Watch this space. Now, we've been talking about this on DCA for quite a while. Shout out to Mando as well. But he always talks about mindshare and AI agents. And I've got this new term called AGENTification, which will catch on. Thank you, B-Man. But these are the top AI agent mindshares. You got A16Z, you got a thing called Fartcoin, you got a thing called ARC. It's not by no coincidence I actually own those top three, because you go where the mindshare is. Agent number 4, Eliza number 5, etc., and down the list. And it caused some consternation for people to know about this thing. Why would this conservative TradFi guy, InvestAnswers, mention a thing called Fartcoin? Because it's at the intersection of AI and memes. And that was the first meme coin I've ever purchased in my life. So there you go. Crazy world. Now, Binance is also jumping on the AI agent train. Binance has a listing update, and they're going to list 3 Solana AI coins in the futures market: AI16Z, Griffane, and Zerebro. I can always have a problem saying Zerebro USDT, Zerebro, whatever it's called. Anyhow, it's crazy. This is the 2025 narrative. Memes took over in 2024. Now this thing is happening in 2025. And the term AI agentification, get used to it. You'll be hearing a lot more of it. It is all, like everything else, happening on the black hole, which is called Solana. And the AI agent ecosystem is thriving with standout projects like AI16Z, Virtual, and more. And the market cap of all these puppies now surpassed $10 billion. I need to do my Austin Powers. AI agents are merging with DeFi and AI, paving the way for tons of decentralized automation. And this is just the beginning. Again, AI agents are booming on Solana. I have little green check marks beside the 3 that I actually currently own. In full disclosure, AI16Z, that F coin, let's just call it so people won't get offended, and AIC, which is the AI industrial complex. ARC, another word for it too. And TradFi is losing their minds. They don't understand what's happening. And shout out to Charlie LILO. He does great work. But he said, with a market cap of 1.45 billion, F-Coin is now worth more than 939 companies in the Russell 3000 index. Remember, 60% of that Russell 3000 will go to zero probably over the next 4 to 5 years. So it's a new world in which we live. We have to embrace it. Everything is going to be AI and everything's going to be crypto. They're the 2 narratives you need to be in. Everything else will be eaten alive. And speaking of AI, before we get into the price predictions, just covering a little bit of news just from today, it's crazy. But Nosana Mainnet is launching on the 14th of January, 2025 with a new look. And that's going to be very exciting as well. Again, all things AI, all things crypto. They're going to disrupt everything. Everything. Okay? Be in disruption. That's where the alpha is, as you heard me harp on since I started this whole channel. Anywho, a little bit of other good news too. Solana did reclaim the $100 billion market cap an hour or two ago, and it's just beneath it right now as we speak, but it'll be above $100 billion again, and that's a big milestone. But just put things in perspective. The chain itself that runs everything is worth $100 billion. But the AI agents alone are worth 10% of what the chain is worth that run on the chain. It's profound, at least to me. It may not mean anything to other people, but we'll see. It's a real thing. It's a very real thing. Also, Jupiter, it also dominates perps. You can see the domination of perpetual exchanges. Jupiter now runs about 82.44% of everything, with Drift number 2 at 14%. Again, like everything else in the universe, winner takes most, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of Jupiter, they do have a burn in 23 days. Not financial advice, but typically a very bullish sign. A quick reminder, in just 23 days, the Jupiter Exchange community will gather in Istanbul to burn the cat together. Of course, they're not going to burn a cat. I think they're going to burn tokens. And there'll be tons of bullish announcements as well. Hopefully, limit orders and perps too. Not for taking profit, but for getting into them as well. Will be awesome. I hope it is in the roadmap, and I hope it gets completed as well soon. Now, other things that are happening on the chain is ZEUS is also live. This is the cross-chain Bitcoin DeFi on Solana. You got the depth and liquidity of Bitcoin now playable, fast, cheap, and easy on Solana. Think of it like a layer 1.5, as Marty says as well, which is crazy. Now let's get into the Analyst price prediction analysis. Similar to what I did yesterday for Bitcoin, but with a couple of twists. First of all, shout out to a couple of groups. One is Bitwise. Bitwise predict a $750 SOL. But the catalysts that they see are lots more institutional investment. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, you can see that that's happening right now because a lot of people are talking about a SOL ETF, and there's not very much chatter about any other ETF. Okay, again, black hole. That's where all the attention is, all the mind share. Think of following the mind share, follow the money, follow the adoption, follow the developers. These are all things you can all do at home, ladies and gentlemen. Also, buying by corporations. We've seen that as well. Not only do we have Bitcoin treasuries, but we now have Solana treasuries, and we have companies like Neptune that do Bitcoin, Solana, and guess what? SpaceX. What a perfect bag of stuff. And wirehouse approvals. U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve will also pump all crypto, including the winners. Regulatory changes. Bye-bye, Gary. Tight supply due to Bitcoin halving, possibly, maybe. Also float all boats. Layer 2 scaling, etc., etc. Lots of good stuff as well. And that's why Bitwise believe Solana could hit $750 this year. Crazy to even think. And shout out to Mando, friend of the channel. He tweeted this earlier today. I thought it was very profound too. If Solana dominates this AI narrative, it could easily go 700 plus. Again, that makes complete sense. Remember, these little piddly brand new AI agents already make up $10 billion of market cap. And Solana's under 100 billion. See? Okay, for Solana to 3x from here, we'd have to go to 300 billion market cap, and we'll share some of that analysis in a minute too. That's just 2 points of view, but let's look at all of the predictions. Again, I'll show you mine using TA, but here you see all the firms. You got AMB Crypto, Benzinga, Bitwise, and you may ask, why are some of them in bold? Well, I believe they are the top analysts, so they're the high-quality analysts. And a lot of other stuff. You got Coinpedia, Coin Price Forecast, Crypto Newsy, etc., etc. But the point is, I've put in the low price when they have a low price and the high price when they have a high price, and I calculated the average price. And some notes as well. You can pause this and have a look. If you want to gravitate towards analysts, like for example, you like Forbes Advisor India, $300, go for it. If you like what people say on Twitter, up to $1,200, that's hella bullish. I'd say be careful of crypto Twitter. But the low end of the range as well is 180 up to 1,200. Average price is 690 at the very bottom there. Again, pick what you like and anchor on that and use that to determine how high we go this cycle. That's the first piece of all of them. Now I'm going to break them down and calculate averages. First of all, I think it is important to look at the top analyst price predictions. So AMB Crypto, Benzinga, Bitwise, VanEck, they're kind of like the top 4 in my opinion. 2 of them had a low price. The average of the low price between $154 and $444 is $299.48. I do want to remind some people, some of these predictions were in euros, so I converted them to dollars. 2 of them were. Let's actually make sure this is pointed out because it might cause some confusion. One was We Are Blocks. They were in euros. And the other one was btcdirect.eu, also in euros. And just for simplicity, I converted them at about 1.1. So whatever was, say, $500, that becomes a little bit higher in dollar terms. Let's get into the top analysts as well. None of them did quote in euro, but you can see the average low expectation is 299. That's up about $100 from where we are now. 50% gain, not bad. The high price average from AMB, Benzinga, Bitwise, and VanEck averages $527. Not bad at all. Now, if you take the average of the low and the high across all of them, you get to 492. So could these analysts all be wrong? I don't know. Could we get to 500? They all seem to think so. Even taking the worst case and best case together and creating an average. So I like to create an average of averages. Now, if we take an average of everybody, all of these, let's see what we got. Here are all the stats on all price predictions. You've got the mean, $313 for the low. By the way, the low, not the high. You got the high, mean, $541, and the average expected across both between the low and the high is $427. The median for the low is $230, median for the high is $520. The mode for the high is $750, which means the most frequent occurrence. It doesn't mean the actual price at all. And the range is all over the place. Again, we've seen from very low to very high. But you see a lot of gravitation towards somewhere between, say, 375 and 465-ish, 427. It all depends. I think you can take these experts here and think 400 to 500 is definitely very feasible. But there's more. There's a lot more than just this. What I always like to look at is the entire crypto market cap. How high can we go? I think it was New Year's Eve. We got to exactly 1/3 of $10 trillion. That's $330 billion. No, $3.3 billion. Yes. I'm all confused now. $3.3 trillion. And the target for MilkRoad is, it's been a long day. For MilkRoad is $10 trillion. Got my numbers right at last. Again, riffing live is always difficult, especially with inadequate coffee. But here they believe the L1s could generate 35% of that 10 trillion. So putting that aside and doing another model that we use here is if the crypto market cap does go to 10 trillion and Solana hits a crypto dominance of 3.8, which they were at a few weeks ago. Okay, not too aggressive. I think it should easily be 5%, but just taking 3.8%. And again, you can take this table at home, plug in your own numbers, and determine where you want to go. But if MilkRoad is right, and we do hit a $10 trillion market cap, and if the SOL dominance is 3.8% of the crypto market cap, that takes the price to $847, ladies and gentlemen. $847, which is kind of quite a bit higher than these numbers here, 492. But again, for that to happen, crypto market cap has to hit 10 trillion and the dominance has to be at least 3.8%. Two factors that make 847. So let's look at some charts and see what they tell us about how high we could go. This is going to be the most in-depth Solana technical analysis you'll ever see. Ever. Anyway, let's jump into the first little chart. And again, looking at ETH dominance. Now, Solana is currently trading at 25% of the market cap of ETH, but it does infinitely more. It makes more money. It has thousands percent more users, tens of thousands percent more transactions, with tens of thousands percent cheaper fees, etc., etc. Better, cheaper, faster, way more adopted, etc. Should this asset be trading at 25% of ETH market cap? As I've stated, since late 2022, early 2023, and in fact since 2021 when I pegged Sol as the ETH killer, this is not right. This is not logical if you analyze things as a fundamental investor would, which is what I do. It's all in the data. So we'll see. We'll see if gravity works in crypto. VanEck and Bitwise seem to think it will eventually. Also, let's look at the layers which help me determine how high the price could go from where we are currently. If we hit level 10, this is kind of bizarre. Okay, you anchor the LILO model at the 200-day moving average where the price crosses the 200-day moving average, which was kind of October sometime at about, I think it was about $130, $140. The price per this model would go up to $475. Okay, that's level 10. If we go to level 9, it's $428, and level 8 is $351. We don't know where we're going to go, but what is very profound is that 475 level is not too different to this one, 492, the average of these top analysts. 475, 492. Maybe they're also looking at the LILO model, level 10. Now, it doesn't mean we'll get to level 10. We might only get to level 9 or level 8. Either way, considering the cost base for many of us, it's bonkers. But we should see where it goes. The next chart we're going to look at is SOLBTC. Again, we are now 12% under the 200-day moving average, which is the red line you see there. And most of 2024, we've been trading above it. But you can see Bitcoin has been very, very strong over the past, well, since, coincidentally, since November 5th. Can't make that up. Wonder what happened on November 5th. I don't know. But that put on the afterburners on Bitcoin. Not necessarily as much on Solana, so you can see it's a little bit weak. But I do anticipate Solana will eventually be above the 200-day moving average on this chart, and it will outperform Bitcoin. It's a smaller asset. That's what they do. That's just the nature of the beast. So that's Sol Bitcoin. Let's look at Sol ETH. You can see it's up 553% since January 2023, the last 2 years. And coincidentally, it has bounced clean off the 200-day moving average, which I find very interesting. Again, it will continue to outperform as ETH gets drained and all the users migrate over to Solana. Now we even have CrossChain Phantom, where you can use Base and Solana using the same wallet. Brilliant. Logical too. Let's check out our Solana upside model. By the way, this model will be free here later. You'll see the link, or just go to InvestAnswers.io, pull it down for yourself, insert it into TradingView. But this has been my Bible since 2021. This was the model that actually gave me confidence of how high Solana would go when people thought I was crazy. Anyway, here we are. So let's look at this. First of all, the next hit in the box is the purple line, which is 33% of ETH market cap. If we hit that, we get to $286. That's logically where it should be. We've been there before. We just need to get back there again. 50% of ETH market cap is $435. And by the way, this assumes ETH stays constant. It doesn't grow. But if ETH goes to $7,000 and Solana goes to half of the market cap of ETH, that means Solana goes to $900 at 50% of ETH market cap. 70% of ETH market cap is $607. Again, just assuming it stays the same. But a lot of people are now calling for a $7,000 ETH target. We'll see if that happens. I don't know, but check out the model for yourself. Configure it as you will. Also, we had very, very strong buy signal on level 4 in the ATR model as well. And that was around 276. No, sorry, 176. Nailed it perfectly. We just breached level 5. And we're heading back to level 6, which is $268, the all-time high. And then we'll break out from there again into price discovery. That is just how it works, and that is my forecast of what's going to happen next. Also, Solana Dominance, this is very key. Remember I mentioned this model here, 3.8% SOL dominance. If crypto market cap goes to 10 trillion and we get 3.8 dominance, takes us to 847. Well, we've been at 3.8% already back in November. Will we go back there again? Yes, it's the dominant chain. It's already drastically undervalued. And just 2 years ago, SOL dominance was 0.4% of the crypto market cap. Now it's hit 3.3% today right now as I speak, looking at it right here as well. So again, all of these factors together will give you a very good picture of where we are going directionally, beyond any shadow of a doubt. Also, drainage continues. This is the actual drainage from Ethereum to Solana. 1.2 billion has drained over the last 12 months. From ETH to SOL, and continues every single month like clockwork. About 350,000 has gone from ETH back to SOL. So the net drainage is nearly $900 million. in a year. You can see all the other names there, what's happening between. It's interesting to see as well a lot of drainage from ETH to base as well as base takes over. So you can follow the money, track where the money's going, that's where the adoption is, that's where the action is. That's why I share all these charts. And the final chart for this is stablecoin growth, the rapid growth that's happened lately. You've got the new thing, the purple, USDS, which is a new stablecoin. I think it's the Tron version or something, I can't remember. And USDC is the dominant one from Circle. You see, it just keeps growing, especially over the last month. It added another $1 billion over the last month alone. And now we're above $5 billion in stablecoin TVL on Solana. Again, winner takes most. Circle is winning. Tether not winning so much on Solana, but Solana does a lot of transactions because it's fast and cheap, and therefore it'll have a lot more users and a lot more adoption over Tether on Tron, which is a little bit more expensive. Anyway, that was the last chart. Let's talk about the conclusion real fast. DBF 430, thank you, down there in Australia. This is what I believe is going to happen in 2025. We have all the numbers. You can pick and choose what you want. Are we going to 500? Are we going to 475? Are we going to 750? We don't know. But Solana is still the dominant chain. DEX volume is growing like a weed. It's out of control. Stablecoin TVL is growing very fast as well. The new dApp development is off the charts. Off the charts. Just look at these. I'm going to show these AI agents one more time. Look at all of them. It's just begun. And there's more than you could ever possibly analyze. I'm trying to analyze them all right now as I speak. And I tell you, I just don't have the cycles to do it the way I want to do it. So I just got to pick out a couple of winners, follow the mindshare, etc. But the dApp development is crazy. And 67% of all transactions across all chains are on Solana. One chain does it all. AI agents, again, blowing up on Solana. And that is the 2025 narrative. Remember, AI Agentification. Remember that word. It'll become a big hashtag this year. That is where you want to be. It's where you want to play. All these videos are turned into podcasts and Substacks. Thank you all for coming, everybody. Hit the like and subscribe if you want more of this good stuff. And this will be also a Solana playlist and crypto playlist item too, for those who care. Bitcoin still above 97K. Solana, $206.30. It fell down $1.70 since I started. Thank you as well, once again, to the mods, Sean Donnelly, K18D Tesla. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, it'll be interesting as well. We did a survey. I forgot to show the survey. We did a survey of how many people in the audience have more Solana than Bitcoin. And the answer is 45% have more Solana than Bitcoin, and 55% have more Bitcoin than Solana. So that is good stuff. I want to thank everybody for taking part in that poll, and I wish I could share it. But anyway, I will screen share that after. Hang on a second. My screen share is not working. Anyway, thank you all for coming. See you later. Bye-bye.